Hello my babies. It is MBSC1 again. This is another openings video. I am going to do openings with my deck. If you will notice, I started the video with the Ultra Ball and the Seismitoad, and these are the changes I made from the list in the last video. So, last time I had those two spots as level balls, but I decided, no, I cut out the level balls, man. and so I put those in instead, and now I'm gonna kind of like test and see what my ratios are like with my opening hands, see if I dead draw less, because the main problems in the first video were I was dead drawing too often and I couldn't get Seismitoad out, and I felt like I needed a fourth Ultra Ball. So I'm hoping that these changes will give me better starts, but we're gonna see. I'm not sure if the effects will be super significant, but I'm gonna kind of take notes and we'll see how it works out for me. So this game, I start with a Zubat, which is always welcomed. Got that comp, so I can just comp for a Toad, put that DCE on it, and then Sycamore or N, depending on which one I want to discard. I think I discard the Sycamore because I really want to keep that Super on my deck. So yeah, I could also go for the Getses here, but I don't think. I don't know. I'd rather just discard it. Keep in mind, I'm also assuming I'm going against Yveltal Archeops. If I make different plays, like sometimes go for Getsus, sometimes don't, go for Ringer, blah, 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 things like that, just don't really worry about it. It's just like to create variation, as I said before. So what we're really aiming for with this list is just to see how consistent it is compared to how it was before. Now, two cards aren't going to make a huge impact on the deck, but I'm hoping that it will be significant enough to see a good difference, and I think it will be. So I'm going to take a sip from my water real quick. Just give me a second here. That's some excellent water. I like it. And I got to say, I wish I got another bat down. One is not very great. I'd like to get 3 down turn 1, but no big dizzy deal. The only reason I retreat in this... I retreated twice, but just pretend I didn't retreat at all. Wait, no, did I retreat twice? I don't know. Either way. I did that because I knew that I needed to evolve that Zubat to Golbat so I could set up for more cards. I didn't want to like start Toad because then like if I'm against Yveltal and they play laser, then I take laser damage, but a lot of Yveltal lists aren't even playing laser anymore. So I set up for like an okay amount. I can't see my hand, which is kind of lame, but you know, pretty good setup. I kind of wish I had those level balls back though, because I didn't get enough bats in play, so kind of gotta pick your poison. But I would much rather have a Seismitoad out and not enough bats over enough bats and not a Seismitoad like Quaking Punching in play. So I think this is the better choice, but we'll see. So that was first game, went pretty well. Kind of wish I had more level balls. Ooh, that's pretty decent. I don't like discarding 2 Lysander and a Verse Seeker, but I do have Toad DC, so that's sick. I accidentally just like looked at my prizes here. Instinctually, I just kind of like fan drew them, but that's kind of nasty. That means I only have 2 outs for Lysander for the rest of the game because I only run 3 Verse Seeker. So like I have to pretty much dedicate those 2 Verse Seekers left in my deck to Lysander. And you notice I do put Silent Lab here. I like to hold Silent Lab or just like not put it down in games where like I need to search for DCE on my first turn. Like for example, if that hand didn't have DCE in it, I just would have discarded the Silent Lab because I know I need to dig for that lab to make sure I get that turn 1 punch. So, yep, just pass here, and I'm gonna laser. And I think I got an N in my hand, don't I? Ooh, yeah, I got that N. I got that N, baby. So I'm gonna put this on Zubat. I believe I do. The reasoning behind this is occasionally you will skill dive with your bats. I won a lot of games using skill dive actually at the last expanded tournament I played. I won like maybe a third of my games using skill dive late game, so that actually does help. But you can also just super scoop up the Crobat with an electric on it, and then put the electric on Manectric later. So it's kind of like putting Unknown down and then just not using it, just like waiting, and then you use the effect when you need it. You know, it's kind of that kind of thing. It's like putting an energy in play so that you can use it later on something else type thing. But you can also use it on the bat itself. But yeah, this start is kind of weird. I'm wishing that I like had an N in my opening hand instead of Sycamore, so I didn't have to discard 2 Lysander and a Verse Seeker. That's like actually really painful. And if you'll notice here, You know, I think that was actually a misplay. I think I would have rather just hold that comp search so I could comp for like an N or something. Because now the position I've put myself in is one where I need to use that Verse Seeker for my supporter for the turn. And that's not good because that means I have one more out to Lysander. And if it's prized, that can just hurt me super bad. So I think that was actually a mistake. But the important part to take out of that was basically just that it would have been nice for me to have another N. Would have been nice for more bats, but I think I set up my bats enough. I mulligan right here. I'm gonna grab my phone real quick, guys. Just sit tight. Just sit real tight. Just hold on a second. Just 1 second here. Okay. Alright, I'm back. I'm back, guys. I just got a little text message from my friend Michael. You might know him. He's a pretty cool guy. Just kidding, I hate him. No, I'm just kidding again, Michael. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. Dang it. I don't know. Oh yeah. So, let's see. 2 mulligans here. Oh, I think this is the game where I mulligan like 4 times. Alright, we're gonna be here for a while, guys. I'm just gonna send a little text real quick. Yeah, I mulligan a bunch right here. I could have cut it out, but I kind of wanted to like just to display it, just for like full knowledge of what's happening in these openings. I wanted to keep it in there, even though it might be kind of an anomaly. You're like almost never supposed to mulligan 4 times with this deck, but it happened. Oh, excuse me. I'm recording commentary, Michael. So that's mulligan number 3. Let's see. So, what should I say? What should I talk about now that nothing's really happening? Yeah, this deck is really strong. I don't know how strong Toad Bats is anymore though. Like, it's one of those decks that takes a lot of skill to play. Probably the most skill in Expanded, actually. I want to say it's like the most skill-based deck in Expanded, which people will disagree with, unless they've actually used the deck a lot, in which case they definitely will not disagree with me because they know that it takes a lot of skill. But nonetheless, I'm not sure how good it is anymore. I still like it though. I have a ton of experience with it, so I want to stick to playing it. But, you know. So, great start here. This is really sick. If I just get like 2 Zubat off the Sycamore, then it'll be like literally the ideal start. Maybe not like, I don't know, maybe not perfect, but it's pretty dang good. So I'll take this any day. Then I can scoop up this Manectric if I flip heads. And get that Toad active on my first turn. This is, oh, I should also mention that I am assuming I'm going first against Yveltal. I think I said that in the last video. I just want to re-mention that if you guys didn't see the first one. So I do flip heads here. And, oh, I think what I was considering at the moment, I like to do weird things with my fingers when I'm thinking, but I think what I was considering was just like sitting on that hand and waiting, and then on the next turn scooping up the Manectric and bringing up Toad and punching just to avoid laser damage. But I'm glad I just did it. Even, yeah, laser damage is not a really big problem. I'm fine with this. What's up with me drawing both Lysander and Sycamore at the same time without N? It's so bad. One thing you guys will notice about my playstyle, if you pay attention, is I like to discard 1 DCE a lot. I know a lot of people are like, no, you need them DCEs for your Toads. But honestly, I don't, you know, this is definitely a Toad Manectric Bats deck, you know. I like to use my Manectrics. And I play, wait, did I have, yeah, I have 4 electric in this video. So like, I definitely get my use out of Manectric, and I don't have a problem discarding 1 electric because I have that high 4 energy. But I think I played 3 turns out here, but as you can see, I'm getting a great start, so everything's going pretty well. I had to discard a DC, but that's no big dizzy deal. I don't like putting down my Headringers that fast. I like saving those for extra damage with Manectric later. But, you know, overall, I'm not complaining too much. Pretty good start. I'm liking it. And, I think there's a lot of... I might have already done this and I just didn't notice it, but there's a lot of points where I actually point out, like, the Seismitoad that I put in the list. I think that one is it. Yeah, that's why I point to it. Wow, I'm like a psychic or something. It's like I recorded these videos. But, it's, like, to note the difference. You know what I mean? Like, if I wasn't running that Seismitoad, the one that I just put in that list, I would have just mulliganed right there instead of starting with Toad. If that is the full art. I do have two full arts in this list, so there's like a 50-50 shot of that actually being the one. I know one of them has like a crease on the eye because I riffle shuffle way too hard, but I'm not sure. Oops. Hold on a second. I don't know why the audio's on right now. Okay, sorry about that. I thought I muted all of them. Ooh, this is a great start. Yes, that's so good. Okay, if I can get another supporter, this is really good. Like, any hand that has... Oh, sorry, my video cut out, so I just had to, like, restart that. That's kind of sketchy, but it has the potential for being really good. So I'm just going to assume I get 4 items, because against Yveltal, you usually get, like, 4. Ooh, that's pretty decent. You get that turn 1 disruption. I don't know, maybe not. So right now, wishing I ran 5 double colorless energy. I kind of wish I had more bats. I think I'm considering putting down the lab right now. I think it would be really situational. You know, I would see their hand and see if it's a good idea to put down the lab or not. So I don't think this would actually be that hard of a decision in tournament. I would just like see if they have a Shaman in the hand. If they do, I put it down. If they don't, then I don't. It's basically as simple as that. Or Jirachi. Or no. Oh, well, Ultra Wall would have gotten shuffled back, so that's not an option. But yeah, I wanted to give myself the ability to set up. So that's another reason why I didn't put down the lab. So now I can kind of dig harder for that DCE if I NEED 2. Yeah. Wow. Okay, so Michael almost got hit by a train earlier today because he was with his 2 friends and they were like in this train tunnel, and the trains all 3 Verse Seekers. That's crazy. But anyway, the train started coming and they were in the train tunnel and they had to like run away from it, and they're all like, "Oops, no, I retreated first." They're all like traumatized now because the train almost hit them. This one girl was like 5 seconds away from it hitting her. So that was like a decent start. I got the turn 1 Getsus, which is always sick. And I only got 1 bat down though, which I don't like, but I still got turn 2 bunch. So overall, that was pretty good. I guess I could have done with more level ball. That would have been more helpful, I guess. But yeah, that's about it. Didn't have a supporter drain like I thought I might. This is looking pretty good right now. I'm digging this. I can discard that Toad and that AZ. Or, oh, I guess the electric and the AZ. Bench the Toad. Yeah, I think that's better. I can set it for 6. It's a little bit risky though, because like, no, it's not. I was gonna say it's slightly risky because now I set up for 6, and like if I whiff a supporter, the AZ is just like nice insurance to have. So there's an argument to like hold the 1 AZ too. But I think off of 6 you're pretty dang safe. Even if I do dead draw here, I can still get the punch, so it's like not a big risk at all, honestly. Oh wow, I think I did whiff. Well, I still have scoop up too. There's like so many things you can do to avoid that. I really like Ultra Balling away my 1-of supporters and my basic energy, because you can just super rod those back and Verse Seeker for the 1-of supporters. You kind of want to get them in the discard. Oh, and I do have a supporter in my hand. I have that N, so I'm all Gucci. And I'm just noting here that I could have gone for the turn 1 Getsus in this situation, so if the situation called for it, I could have done that play as well. Yeah, this is looking like an ideal first turn right here. The only problem is, I guess, discarding 2 electrics, but that's not even a big deal because you can just super rod them back. But this is like super perf, as the white girls say. I don't know. Let's see, what is this game? I think this is game 7, maybe 6. So far, looks like pretty good results. I haven't had any major complaints so far. I kind of want to put 1 level ball back in just to set up my bats a little more, but so this is my 2nd turn now. My assumption was that my Zubat got knocked out. I'm gonna get a super rod back that Zubat plus those 2 electrics that I discarded earlier. Very good. Not really missing any card in this set. Maybe level ball, but that's about it. 2 setup Toads. I'm not complaining. This is pretty sick. And then if I get laser off this N, oof, you guys don't even know. That's, well, I mean, maybe you do know, but it's so good when you can like laser and then also play lab down and N and get Quaking Punch on the same turn. Like, that combination is super, super good. Because you can like lock hard and poison them so that they probably don't have an out to like retreat or anything like that. Unless they have like free retreat or anything or something. So, especially after Zubat gets knocked out, because they get 1 less card off of the N. And I'm going to Stellar Guidance before I put my Silent Lab down because I'm not a scrub. The other option is to just put is to just not put Lab down and hold the Jirachi till next turn, but I think a lot of the time you do want to start locking with Lab pretty quickly, so yep. Gonna go with that. Put the Lab down, go for that punch for Fouty. Don't get the laser, but that's the only complaint, and I can't run 5 lasers, so I'm not really worried about it. There's no real change I could make to fix that. And this is kind of well, let me think. I don't know, this is an interesting hand. Let's just see what I do with it. So I go for the turn 1 Getsus, because it's always good. No, this is a good hand now. Okay, this turned into a good hand. Can chorus for a decent amount next turn. Can get the turn 1 Toad. Get 2 bats down, or 1 bat down, excuse me. Maybe 2 bats down. I don't like that I drew 3 DCs, but it's not the end of the world. Pretty good discards, especially because I have Super Rod in my hand. Gonna get that Toady Woady. Next turn, I'll probably Ultra Ball for something, discarding a DCE, and probably a card I draw. Yeah. I think if I don't draw another card that's like more okay to discard, then I'm just not going to play the Ultra Ball at all on my next turn. But wait, what the heck? I just go really? Oh. No, I don't like that. I think I take this back. Yeah. I realized that quickly that was not the right way to go about it. So looking pretty good this game. Even only having the chorus in my hand is actually not a big deal in this situation, so I'm not really complaining. Got that turn 1 DC on my Toad. Pretty sick. Oh, nice. That's good fodder for Ultra Ball, especially because I have Super Rod. Again, I'm gonna Ultra Ball away my basic energy and just Super Rod it right back. No, wait, really? Don't do that, Daniel. Oh, because I don't have another Shaman. I guess, okay, maybe. It's understandable, actually. Yeah. It's kind of iffy. I mean, in this situation, you kind of have to, would have to know. Oh, yeah. You can see what I'm thinking here. In this situation, you would kind of have to know, how many bench Pokemon your opponent would have. So I think I'm just going to take back the Ultra Ball for Jirachi and go for, another Zubat instead. I'm just going to guess that's what I do. Really? I hold on to the Jirachi. Okay, I must have something in mind. Huh. That's weird. Oh, I go for AZ. That's the best play. Yes. Okay. I just didn't think of this again. Okay, this is definitely the best play here, because not only is AZ gonna pick up my Shaman to guarantee myself the turn 2 punch like I need, but it's also gonna make it so that I can set up for 4 this turn, which is just super sick. I can also attach that energy if I want to, just to make it so I can set up for another card, which is not bad actually. But I think yeah, you can see I'm contemplating putting it down or not. I can also just wait till next turn before to set up, but have I played? No, I haven't played a sport yet. Yeah, there's a very high chance that I'll hit a Golbat, so attaching there is not too dangerous, honestly. I can put that lab down pretty safely, actually. I think I should do that. I don't know if I do or not. Oh, okay. So I just decided that I should not have actually attached to Zubat. I'm kind of back and forth on it, but I just go that was probably stupid. I don't know. I think I got confused here. I'm not sure if I played a supporter yet or not this turn. But, I mean, the purpose of this video is to understand, how my starts are going with these changes. So based on that, I basically just wanted more bats in play early game, but not really a big deal. I got that punch early, which is what I need, so... Yep. This is kind of gross. It's not good. Yeah, definitely not good. I gotta waste my lab and a Seeker and a Crobat and an Electric. I mean, you can Super Rod back half of those cards, but when you only have 2 Silent Lab in your deck, it's kind of irritating to have to discard one like that. If I remember correctly, I go back and forth on which one to attach to multiple times. It doesn't even matter. I don't know why I do this. The purpose of this is to, figure out your starts, like I just said. I don't know why I repeated that, but because like that's the goal, it doesn't really matter. I'm not like I don't need to make the best play in terms of where I put the electric on. It doesn't impact anything. It's really just useless. I kind of wish I just didn't do this. I could cut it out, but I want to make it like legitimate for you guys, you know. Like I feel like if I put jump cuts in between game or like in openings, it's going to make it seem like I could have fudged the numbers, like just put a card in my hand or something like that that isn't supposed to be there. But I mean, I don't know. I just want to make it as legitimate as possible. So I pass, assume the Zubat gets knocked out, attach my Toad, put a Fighting Fury butt on it. Pretty safe to say I'll get a Golbat here, so I think I'm just going to end, putting back an Easy and a Lysander. So, like I said before, if you can get Laser and in Punch, I said Lab too, but looks like that's probably not going to be an option. It's really ideal early game, especially since I'm ending to 5, because I assume that Zubat got knocked out. Give me a Golbat. There's that Golbat. Was good. Oh, when I get a Zubat. Very ideal start. I'm digging this. Faux show. Got that punch. And then, yeah, so what can I take from this? Nothing. The list worked really well. Well, oh, maybe a 4th end, actually, because I did have to Sycamore away some good resources, so I guess I could take that from it. And we're going to have a good old start here. This is a great hand to guess this with, because I have comp already. So, and I just draw not ideal stuff. I'm kind of tired. There's nothing to really comp for. Like, if I'm going to comp for something, it's going to be either a supporter or Shaman or Toad. So I got this big old hand. It's kind of nasty. Assume Zubat gets knocked out, as I usually do. Yep, I like those discards. Or that discard. I think I'm going to discard the Lysander too. Could get rid of the electric energy. That's an option. I think I'd rather get rid of the electric. Yeah. Because getting Lysander in your discard pile isn't, like, advantageous, really, when you play 2. Like, when you have 1, you definitely want to, but, like, when you have 2, I feel like you could just kind of leave it up to drawing it at the right time. Especially when you have Jirachi. And, like, a good amount of thinning cards and good draw and stuff. So I'm just going to comp for an end here. This is not an ideal start. I will say that much. This game, I want a 5th Seismitoad. But it's okay, because even if I whiff punch, I can still potentially get an electric energy and use Overrun, which isn't the end of the world. It's not ideal at all. In some matchups, it actually kind of is the end of the world. You'll lose some games because that happens sometimes. And if you'll notice, I decided not to play that Laser just because you really only want to play Laser when it's going to make it so that you can knock something out, or like when you're going to get really efficient use out of it. Like, if I know my opponent has a Keldeo with a Floatstone in play, or the potential to get Keldeo with a Floatstone in play, and I can't like play Silent Lab or make it so that their chances of using Russian Retreat are hindered, then I don't want to play Laser at all. That extra damage isn't going to be helpful. You want to use it in a situation where you're going to be able to get the most use out of it. So I actually think I am going to... chances are looking pretty good for me right here. It looks like I probably will be able to pull off the punch. I can set it for 6 right now and get 3 bats in play. So I think I might just take back what I said. I said this isn't a great start, but honestly, this is turning into an amazing start. If I hit the DC. If I whiff it, then it's lame. Well, I mean, it's not lame. It's just, like, not ideal, I guess. I don't know. Really gonna hope for DC here. I think I don't remember if I get it or not, but let's see. Play that Laser, set it for 6. DCE, come to me. This is so suspenseful. Okay. Alright, so that was a very confusing turn. I still, like, everything else went well, though. Like, I didn't get the turn 1 punch, but everything else went right, so I'm not gonna complain too much. I feel like my 3rd turn would have been pretty darn good. I don't know, I would have been able to have a chance in that game, I feel like. I would have, not wouldn't have. Especially because I got the Getsus turn 1. Anyway, Again, we're gonna get. I don't know why. Gets this is like sticky for me. It just ends up in my opening hands a lot. I said this in the last video. If I have Getsus in my opening hand, I seldom will not just play it because it's so good. Like, your opponent gets one turn of items, and you're gonna hinder their items like really heavily. Potentially just make them dead draw and like not have anything starting turn one. Getsus is just like a crazy strong supporter turn one. People undervalue it. I think people like knew how good it was when Archistois was big, and like for a little bit. I remember like last states, I was the first person to play Getsus in my Darkrai list. Well, not the first person. I think Keon teched for like mirror by running multiple Getsus before Verseeker came out. But like in recent history, I was like the first guy to start doing that. And it was really good against Night March and Flareon, which actually was literally just Flareon at the time. There was no Vespiquen. It wasn't out yet, so it was just like a Flareon deck, which was really cool. But that was back when Flareon had a lot more items too. Anyway, yeah, I guess this is just super good. But about my start, it could be better. I wish I had bats. No DCs. Kind of lame. I'll probably end up setting up here if I can, or just get the DC and Ultra Ball for bat. Alright, well that's not great. Excuse me. Set up for 2, give me DCE. I get nothing. I got heads here. And this is the mentality to keep while playing Toad, is just do whatever you can to get that turn 2 punch or the turn 1 punch, depending on if you went first or second. So that's game number 10. Yeah, thanks for watching and stuff, guys. It's been fun.